Morning everyone, how's it going? Just making sure my sound is recording. Yeah, there it is, should be. So, it was another nice night's sleep and quite a good campground really, considering it was only €5 for the night. It was just me and another tenter. There's a few camper vans. So I'm just walking over to give you a view of Bills-hoffen, which I will do by awesomely panning around and turning. Look at that. And there you can see the bridge in the background and the town behind me there. And obviously that's the Danube. Very pretty as well. So where am I off to today? So still continuing to follow the river, hoping to get to a place called Reginisberg. Terrible at pronouncing. Plus I haven't looked at a map for a while, so I've probably forgotten the spelling of the place I'm going to. And it will be another campsite again. Now what I'm finding with camping now, I seem to be just slightly behind on charging all my gear up and definitely uploading videos. So I've now got 3 videos waiting to be uploaded. So maybe at some point I'm going to need to just dive into a guest house and just sit down, do some work for a day just to catch up with everything. But we'll see what happens. Looks like it's going to be another pleasant day, slightly cloudy at the minute, but that should bring the temperature down a bit. And the wind may even be blowing just slightly in my direction. How awesome is that? Speak to you in a bit, guys. Cheers. The place that I was staying was a campground attached to the boat club at Bills-hoffen. It doesn't look exactly well advertised, and it's also unsure or unclear whether people on bicycles with tents are welcome or not. But what I would say to anyone planning a tour on this route is, if you're going to pass Bills-hoffen, then pop in. It's €5 a night, the showers are decent. What more do you need? So, leaving the campground, it was back onto the route once more, and there were some displays of the planets of the solar system on the left hand side. And as I went past each one, they were getting further and further apart, as they would be in orbit around the sun, which kind of interested me as I'm a bit of a geeky nerd. Anyway, enough of the geeky nerdery. Cycling today, it was mainly overcast for most of the day, and it's spotted with rain here and there. A little bit later on the shower did get me, but we'll see a video about that later on. In the meantime, we can enjoy this video clips of me cycling through villages and the quaint churches and that sort of thing. There are some very wonderful churches. It's a lovely place to cycle. And I don't think I mentioned it before, but I am now in Germany, by the way. It would be difficult to tell. I didn't see a border crossing. There was no welcome to Germany sign, but I'm in Germany. I passed these tandem guides a couple of times, and yeah, I've never ridden a tandem before, so maybe that would be a bit of an experience to ride a tandem with somebody else. I can see it's got its pros and its cons. I imagine that if you're working together and you have a pretty good rhythm going, missus, then your progress is going to be pretty sweet. I imagine the con is that if you're the one at the front or the back, well, actually the one at the back's probably got the worst view, unless there's a nice view in front of you. You know what I mean? So the route today was a mix of sealed and unsealed, but the unsealed parts were, you know, it's not exactly like they were rough roads or anything. It was just dirt and gravel. And yeah, that was about all there is to say really. It's quite a pleasant day cycling. Hi there, so 4:23 and just shy of 100 kilometres into the ride, and as you can see probably behind me, it has started raining. Awesome. So I found this bus shelter, but I think the rain got me a little bit. So what do I do now? That is the question. I'm heading to a place called Regensburg, and I think I'm about 30 kilometres away still, maybe even 40. I'm going to pass a place called Worth on the Donau soon, but that hasn't got any camping as far as I'm aware. So a little bit uncertain what to do. This rain could be in for half an hour, it could be in for the rest of the night really. Don't really want to sleep in the bus shelter, but who knows. So I'll let you know when I know. Speak to you in a bit. So I ended the night in a guest house, and it's a really nice place actually. €30 a night for a single room, and that includes breakfast. So there's a single bed and a table with all my gear on it charging, so I can stop moaning about it like a little whinge bag. There's also some food there that I need to sort out for tomorrow, so I planned ahead because no doubt in Germany everywhere will be closed on a Sunday. Yes, I'm in Germany by the way, I forgot to mention that. And a bathroom with a really nice shower. And the room's a bit yellow, so I'm not too sure if it's picking it up very well. Let me turn the camera around. Hello everyone. So I'm doing this on my GoPro because my phone's been playing up. I wanted to see if the GoPro's any good. So the camera angle will be a bit strange and maybe the sound will be off, but if I like it, maybe this is the way to go, because it'd be a lot easier if I could do everything on the GoPro. It would make the whole video making process a lot faster. So what else is there to say? That's about it really. I've caught up with all my vlogging. Tomorrow's a new day and I need to get another 100 kilometers done. And that's it. I will speak to you later on. Thanks very much for watching. Cheers for now. Good morning everyone. Here's the view out of my guest house bedroom window. Don't know if you can see that, but it's a lovely clear blue sky. Just a few clouds there, but certainly not rain clouds. Well, they're not rain clouds at the minute. Just turn the camera around. I'm doing this from my GoPro again, so I'm not too sure of the camera angles and the light and stuff until I actually do the editing. So, but you're probably not interested in camera stuff, are you? You're here for cycling stuff. So let's get on with that instead. So today I'm going to be cycling to a place called Ingolstadt. That's about 100 kilometers away. I've had a lovely big breakfast downstairs, so I'm all fueled and ready to go. And also had a good night's sleep. So the guest house has really sorted me out actually, and it's made me a little bit more relaxed and chilled. So what to say about the road ahead? I'm going to pass through a place called Regensburg. I'm about 80 kilometers behind my preset schedule, which I don't think is any big worry, so everything's looking good. Yeah, that's about it. I'll give you some clips from the road, some insightful commentary, and speak to you in a bit. Cheers for now. As I said, the destination for the day was a city called Ingolstadt. Now I didn't quite make it in the end, and instead I stopped about 20 kilometers short, just outside of a small town called Bad Gogging. The reason being is that as I was cycling along the road, I saw that there was a campsite, thought I'd pop in and have a look. It looked really nice, and so I stayed there for the night. I still did about 80 or 90 kilometers, so job well done. Instead, for the rest of this commentary, normally I talk about what I'm seeing on the road, the places that I pass, etc. But I thought I'd talk instead about the logistics and behind actually making these vlogs, as some people might find it interesting. So obviously, what I need to do is I need to take film of the road. I need to be able to then mix it together, edit it, and then put it live. Now this requires a number of things, the main thing of which is power. So I am carrying with me a power bank, and if you remember back to my bicycle touring gear videos, that power bank is able to charge my phone, my GPS and my GoPro. Now what I need to do as each day goes on is keep that power bank fully charged, so I have to take every opportunity to charge the power bank up, which I normally find a plug socket somewhere in a campsite to do. Now one of the problems I'm experiencing is the battery in my phone is playing up, which means that although it says it's 50% full, it just turns itself off. So there's obviously a fault with the battery, which I've experienced before. It's a Samsung Galaxy S4, which they've had notorious problems with their batteries. So this is having a bit of a knock-on effect on how I can produce the videos. The other thing that is hampering me is my battery life of the laptop is only, and this is on a very, very good day, about 2.5 hours. And each video, if I'm really good at mixing and editing it together, is about 1.5 hours. So I can't quite do 2 videos from one battery charge in my laptop, if that makes sense. So at some point I have to find a way to charge the laptop and all my gear, which is what I tend to do in the campsites. Which is why yesterday it was very handy staying in the guest house. It meant I could charge all my gear, I had all my vlogs uploaded, and I was ahead of myself. Because the other thing that I need to do is when the gear's charged and when I'm making the videos, of course I have to upload them. So the other thing I've been experiencing is upload speeds. Now yesterday's upload speed was amazing. Each video just uploaded in less than 10 minutes. Now I have had some places where it's taken 2 or 3 hours to upload a video, which is just crazy, but what else can I do? And obviously during all this time the battery power is running low and it has a knock-on effect for the next day. Anyway, I don't know if you find any of that interesting, but a number of solutions are possible. Obviously I could get gear with better battery life. I could perhaps recharge more often. I could just say, okay, this is a problem, so every night I need to stay somewhere and be assured of power, which will then have a cost involved. So if you're thinking of making vlogs on the road, just keep all that in mind. What I'm not using on this trip is a solar system, but maybe that's worth thinking about for future. It's something I wouldn't mind trying. I saw a cyclist the other day with one. It looked like it'd be fairly good. Not powerful enough to charge the laptop, but certainly powerful enough to keep my power bank fully charged. Anyway, back to the video. So yeah, it was a nice pleasant day cycling and passed through some pretty villages. That was a bit of a short version really, wasn't it? Really bad. What I've noticed in Germany is the Donauradway, or the River Danube trail, is not as well signposted as in Austria. There's also the quality of the tracks is variable as well, so some will be sealed and then some will be dirt roads. And on this occasion I went up through a mountain through a forest, and a cyclist said this is very steep, and I was like, yeah, no worries, I've done this sort of thing before. And yeah, it was very steep, but what he should have warned me about was it's very steep and there's lots of mosquitoes, because I don't think I've ever been bitten quite so much within 5 minutes as when I was cycling up here. Anyway, of course with every uphill there's a downhill. So I cruised along with the intention of heading towards Ingolstadt, but when I get to around 80 kilometres I always keep my eye out for a campsite, and I happened to find one. And I'm not sure if you can pick up on the video in a couple of clips time the name of it, and maybe I'll put it in tomorrow's clip. So I cycled into the campsite, and then I'm going to take you for a walk around so you can see what it's like. Here you go. Hi there guys, I've just arrived at a campsite, and I was asked a few days ago if I could do a video about campsites. So this is going to be one about Germany. So this is where I've arrived to. I'm going to show you on the GPS. I don't know if this is going to work, so forgive me. So I'm between Bad Gogging and Newstead on the Danube. I hadn't planned to come to this campsite, I just saw it, I'd done my 80 kilometres and I thought, yeah, let's get in. Okay, so I paid my money, it was 12 euros, and I can camp anywhere on this bit of green. There's my bike. So as you can see, it's got some seats there, which is always a bonus when it comes to camping. That's the one thing that when you're in a tent, you really do miss a seat. So let's go over to the shower block, and this is the most impressive shower block I've ever seen, I think. So let's check it out. So we've got ladies' showers, ladies' toilets, this is a kitchen, well, washing up area, and that map looks really useful. I'm going to see where I can get a copy of that, or I may just take a photo of it with my phone, if my phone's working. A few brochures, so a nice little information place. I don't know if these little rooms are actually open. No, they're not. And coming further down, men's toilets and the men's showers. Let's check it out. Wow. Okay. Okay, that's one of the more impressive shower rooms. They're not all like this, believe me. And in here, you get a little shaving area. Hi. And shower. So in the very cheaper places, sometimes you have to pay for the shower, but this is free. I've not tried it yet because I've literally only just arrived. But yeah, looks very nice. I suppose we could check the toilet out. I don't normally take a camera into toilets, but you know, just this once for you guys. I'm doing it for you guys. Anyone in? Nope. Urinals? Oh, very posh, very posh. Was that the most exciting video you've ever had of like some toilets and stuff? So I am actually very impressed with that. There's nothing more to the shower block because I've already walked around it once. So I'm just going to head back over to where I'm going to set the tent up. I might do another video about how I set the tent up and stuff like that, but not on this occasion. So yeah, all in all, pretty good. And weather-wise, looks like it might rain later. We'll see. So time to set the tent up and update all my blogs and all that sort of jazz, and speak to you guys later. Cheers for now.
Good morning everyone, how's it going? So this is now day 58 of the trip, so that is almost 2 months on the road. Wow! And also this is the first day I've had to wear my fleece in the morning. Most days I've just been able to get out of my tent with a t-shirt on and it's been fine, but today I think it's about 12 or 13 degrees. It's going to warm up to about 23 degrees later on. Today I've got 100 kilometres to cycle and I'm going to a place called Dillingen, if I actually make it there, but yeah, about 100 kilometres is what I've got in mind. I thought I'd just give you a quick look around what the remains of my camp, because I'm halfway between packing up, and show you what's what. So the bicycle, I have put an extra bit of oil on the chain and partially loaded the panniers on there. That's the GoPro casing for this. The sound doesn't work if you have that casing. This is my early morning coffee. So what I do, don't know if you can see that, so what I do is I use half the milk with some oats and I use the other half and I put some coffee and sugar in there, shake it up, and it's a cold cappuccino. It's very nice in the morning. And there's a tent waiting to be packed away. So I'm also toying with the idea of doing like a time lapse, putting the tent up or taking it down, but not today, maybe tomorrow. Anyway, I'll give you some videos from the road now. Thanks for watching, see you in a bit, cheers. Onto the Danube Trail again, and it was straight onto the sealed path. Now, to a certain extent, I've been slightly disappointed with Germany compared to Austria on the Donau-Radway, or the Danube Trail, whatever you want to call it. The signposting in Austria was very clear, very precise. And in Germany, that's not the case. And in a way, that kind of goes against your stereotypes of what Germany or Germans should be about. You would think it would be very precisely signposted and very accurate. But it's quite a lot of vague areas, and every now and again I sort of go off the track and then I find it again a few kilometres down the trail. And to a certain extent it's starting to get to the point where I wonder if I should follow the trail anymore, or if I should just follow the shortest route which I can find and just get on with it. But the thing is, when you get nice little sections like this, it's a real pleasure riding on the trail because you're well away from the traffic, everything's nice and quiet, and you're kind of surrounded by, you know, just nature and clean air, and, you know, that's the bit you want. So, you know, I don't really want to go in a straight line, you know, with heavy traffic. What's the point when you can do this? It's just slightly irritating that I'm wasting a bit of time trying to double check my way and make sure I'm en route. Anyway, that's my little whinge for the day. So I'll stop whinging now and talk about something else. Let's talk about the little villages I'm going through and I don't know, in the churches that I pass by and things like that. That's what I should do, shouldn't I? Because this is lovely. Everything's very pristine. If you have a look, there's no graffiti, there's no rubbish. It's going to come as a shock to me when I get back to Athens, I think. See, some of the street art in Athens is very nice, but some of the graffiti is just like pointless. And none of that's here. That's not to say that Germany doesn't have graffiti, because it definitely does, and I've seen graffiti, but not in the small villages. People just take pride in where they live. And I think in Athens, do people take pride in living in Athens? I'm not sure. Anyway, this is a good example of a signpost which is completely over the top. So before I couldn't find a sign to point the way, and this one has got more information on it than I can possibly use. I don't know. What do you do? What do you do? Anyway, so it's getting near to midday, so I'm looking for somewhere to start to take a break. And then I found somewhere, which I'm going to talk about imminently. It's just gone 12 o'clock and I thought I'd take a break. And I found this very nice resting place. Now, I'm not a religious person at all, but it's quite a nice place to have this, I think. Oh, what have we got over here? Let's check this out. We're turning into a slug cam. Is that one of the biggest slugs you've ever seen, or what? Not going very fast, is he? Anyway, enough of the nature watching. So I have about, what now, 60 kilometres, 70 kilometres to go. And it's going pretty well actually. It's a nice pleasant day, temperature's perfect, it's about 23 degrees. There's no wind to speak of, and yeah, it's just a very nice day cycling. Speak to you in a bit. I should really try and find a way to do some more wildlife shots, But to be fair, there's not been that much wildlife to take shots of. Although that said, on the last couple of days I've seen some deer, seen some rabbits, and in the campsite I was in there was also a few mice there as well, which were cute. Well, except mice are cute unless they eat their way into your tent, which happened to me in New Zealand. So this was on my first bicycle tour, so I camped for the night and I had half a loaf of bread wrapped up and I left it in my tent. And at night I could hear some rustling, but I was kind of tired and I thought it was outside. And when I woke up in the morning, a mouse had eaten its way through my tent and sort of burrowed its way into my bread, which was a little bit annoying because I liked my bread and my honey in the morning. So I just kind of cut away the whole bits and then had the rest of the bread because, waste not, want not and all that. Back to this video anyway. So this castle, I have no idea what it was. I think it's definitely a real one rather than some weird fake thing. If you know what it is, it's a castle somewhere in Germany. Please leave a comment below and then I can become educated, can't I? As somebody educated me the other day when they told me what a reverse mermaid was called. Although the thought of it or the memory or the word has slipped out of my mind because I can't remember what it is now. Anyway, I can always look back on the comments. And you can look back on the comments as well to all the YouTube videos I've made on this Greece to England cycle ride. Wouldn't that be fun? Some crazy people are even binge watching them. I mean, I don't think it's up to Game of Thrones standard, but, hats off to people that want to binge watch the vlogs. I mean, obviously, if you like it, you want to subscribe to the channel as well, and then you get regular updates, don't you? Yeah, I'm selling the channel now. Probably just filling a little bit of time towards the end of the video. Yeah, that's probably what I'm doing.
Hi there, so it's the end of another day's ride, and as you can see I'm staying in a guest house. It's a little bit more expensive than I would like to have paid, and it's not up to my usual high standards, but it's okay. I did over 100 kilometres today. I saw this guest house and I thought, yeah, I'm going to stay here, so I did. And is there anything else to say? No, I think I'm more or less back on schedule again, so should be getting back to England for around the 19th of July. And I've got an added incentive because if I get there early enough I can see my brother before he goes on holiday, which may be the last time I get to see him this year. So I need to start putting on some kilometres quite seriously. Anyway, I'm going to create this vlog for you guys and get some sleep, and tomorrow's a new day. Catch you later. Cheers for now. Good morning everyone. The devastation after I've finished breakfast. Well, if I pay 40 euros for a room, I'm going to get my money's worth out of the breakfast, you know what I mean? So it is time to hit the road again, although I've still got to pack all my stuff up. I think the rest in the guest house has done me some good. I think yesterday was a little bit more challenging than I realised. There were a few hills because of the route I took. And yeah, I feel a bit better now for having breakfast, and probably the 3 cups of coffee helped as well. Today's about 100 kilometre day again. Heading towards a campsite if it's open. The internet is a bit vague. It's not in English, it's in German, so I've done a Google Translate. But there appears to be a campsite in a place called Rottennacker, which sounds an awesome place, which I suppose is how my knackers feel after being so long on the bike. Nah, not really. And that's it. I'll give you some clips from the road. Speak to you guys in a bit. Cheers for now. Hi there, it's just gone past 1 and I've just finished my little break. As you can
consisted of 2 rolls filled with Nutella, so if I have Nutella around my face, I apologise now. It was very yum. So I thought I'd show you a couple of things while I'm here. Obviously I'm sitting on a bench, and I'm by the side of the Danube, which is over here, which is a very nice setting, I think. And then I thought I'd show you a couple of things on the bike. So firstly, there's my laundry system. So as any cyclist will tell you, you need to wash your clothes on the road as you go along. So generally speaking, I wash my clothes in the shower, and then if they've not dried overnight or in the afternoon, I then strap them to the back of the bike so they can air in the sun. These are still a little bit damp. Actually the shorts are okay, but the top isn't right now. But I'm sure in another hour or so that'll be done. And yeah, so the bike is performing very well. I'm just carrying with me the 2 water bottles because there's there's plenty of places to get water now. And then over here, as I promised you that we'd look at some more wildlife. Can you see the duck thing there? You might have to look carefully or expand the screen depending on how you're looking at this YouTube video. Oh, something went over to the right. Probably another duck, I think. So there's actually 2 there. Hopefully you can see them. Very peaceful it is as they play amongst the pond lilies. And just there, again, maybe you can make it out, maybe not. That's a nest. And so, it is time for me to hit the road again. I am about 43 kilometres in, and I've got about another 50 to go until I reach Rottennacker. God, I love that name. So, I will speak to you guys in a bit. Cheers for now. Hi there, so at the end of another day cycling, and I've ended up in a campsite, as you can see. And the campsite, I'm just going to consult my phone, it's between Urbach and Rottennacker, and it's by a lake, and I'll show you the lake now. There's been a few people swimming in there, but that's not for me. That's not my style, well, basically because it's probably a little bit cold. And there's a cyclist behind me. He's from Switzerland, he's on day 1, he's starting from Switzerland and he's heading to Gothenburg. So that's it for today, 90 kilometres in the bag, and tomorrow more of the same. Catch you later guys, cheers for now. Good morning everyone, how's it going? So I'm all packed and ready to go, as you can see by the bike just over here. Yes, yeah that's right, I'm ready to hit the road. And where am I going to? I'm going to a place called Hausen im Tal, and that's about 80 or 90 kilometres away, depending on how many deviations I take on the road, I suppose. I'm just going to head to the supermarket first, get myself a breakfast, or find a bakery and see if they've got some nice little, I don't know, pastry or something, have a coffee, and then I'm going to hit the road. So I'll give you some clips and speak to you guys in a bit. Cheers for now.
So just gone 12:30 and I'm about 40 kilometres into the day. Time for a quick lunch break. It's quite handy having these little picnic tables randomly scattered around the path. So today for lunch I have some fresh rolls from the bakery, tuna and some bananas. Yum. Today's proven to be a bit hillier than I expected so far. Some of them have been quite short and steep. So yeah, I'm going to take probably half an hour, 3/4 of an hour off and then carry on cycling. Thanks, guys. So at the end of another day's ride, and I've ended up in a place which I cannot quite remember the name, but I will let you know in tomorrow's video. €11 a night camping here, and there's a supermarket just over the road, so I've stocked up with some goodies to treat myself. Tomorrow is going to be another 90-kilometre day, I think, and that gets me to the source of the River Danube. And after there, it's just a matter of cutting through the rest of Germany, across France, and back to England, which I'm kind of looking forward to now. But it does feel like I'm in a bit of a race to get back as soon as I can. So that's the end of this video. Thanks very much for watching. Cheers for now. Another beautiful morning and I'm about to hit the road. I've got about 100 kilometres to go and I'm heading towards Donau-Schengen, and that is the source of the River Danube. So that will then complete this little mini section of my journey, and then it remains to cycle back to England. So it's about 100 kilometres, maybe a little bit more. The terrain will be a little bit hilly, and I will give you some video clips from the road. One other thing I should say is that because of internet access and power access, which I'm suffering with quite badly at the minute, I won't be doing an ongoing commentary, but what I'll probably do is just little sections through the day of little snippets that maybe I think you find interesting or something. Anyway, catch you guys later because I've got to hit the road. See you in a bit. Well, I have to say, this is a very beautiful part of the Danube Trail. Getting towards the source now, and the river's, you know, it's not as wide as it was. It's still a river, but it's certainly a lot narrower than when I was down in Austria. And yeah, this section is very, very beautiful. As you can see, just turn you around again. It's kind of like these little white rocks in with the mountains, and the path which is here. Sometimes that takes me on to where the river is, and sometimes it doesn't. Anyway, it's time for a break, and my go-to food when I'm having a break is the humble banana, which I try to have no matter what country I'm in, really, when I'm cycling. I think it's a nice little break. Maybe I have 3 or 4 of these a day, and I'll show you some of the other food I eat along the way. I'm sure this is going to be really exciting for you, and you'll go, you can't survive on that. Maybe. Speak to you guys in a bit. Cheers. Hi there, so I am now 30 kilometres into the day's ride. It's 10:55, and when it comes back, I've done 517 metres total ascent so far today. And this, by the looks of it, is the town of Buron, as you can see by that. I don't know if you can hear the church bells ringing in the background. And that's the direction I will be going in. So I'm going to have another break. I tend to have a break every hour of cycling, and I think this is going to be a 2-snack break. So I'm going to have a banana, of course, and I'm also going to have what is a high protein bar, which I don't normally have, but it was in a shop and I thought, okay, I'll check it out. So I will speak to you guys in a bit. Cheers for now. Hello there, so 2 hours and 52 minutes into the ride, see how precise I am, and I've done 43 kilometres, time for another break. As I'm in a nice shaded place, there's a park bench where I can sit down and have my lunch. Let's have a quick look over here, see if you can see the train going past. What a beautiful setting this is for lunch. So, what can we say of today's ride so far? The total ascent seems to be quite a lot. So the total ascent, according to my wonderful GPS, is 755 metres. Now it has been a lot, but I'm not entirely convinced that that is right, because I'm not sure if it's added it onto yesterday's or not. So maybe if you've cycled this route, you could let me know. Anyway, I'm going to have my lunch and then carry on. Speak to you in a bit. I just remembered one more thing. I was going to show you what lunch was, wasn't I? This time I've gone for a very healthy salad with a suspicious looking salami sausage to go with it. Yum. Speak to you later. Hi there. So 4 hours of cycling in and stopping for another break. Like I said, I tend to stop for a break about every hour or so, and it's going to be a banana break, just so you know. The road has been, I don't know, it's been a little bit harder work than I remember it being, but as I probably said before, I can't remember much of cycling this route. 10 years ago now, I think it was, when I did England to South Africa. Anyhow, I am soon to be near Donaueschingen, which is the source of the Danube, and I've still got about 30 kilometres to go till I get there, and then hopefully it's got a campsite where I shall put my tent up and relax a little bit. Anyway, I'm going to have my break now. Talk to you in a bit. Bye. Okay, I'll stop for another quick food break. Should see me through the last 30 kilometres. Hi there, so that's the end of another day's ride. I finished off by going into Donaueschingen and visiting the source of the Danube, as well as the beginning of the Donauradway cycle path, and then I cycled back out of the town and to the campsite where I'm staying now. So in a way that's one phase of this trip over. I've had lots of different phases through this trip, but that's another one. And now really I see getting to England as pretty much just getting as many miles done as I can a day and just getting on with it. It's not to say that France, which is the next country I'm going to pass through, isn't a beautiful place, but right at the minute I think my head's more in just finishing the trip and getting back to England. So it's time to put the vlogs together, get some sleep, and I'll speak to you guys in the morning. Thanks very much for watching. Thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe to the channel, and I'll speak to you later. Cheers for now. Morning everyone, just gone 7:30 and I'm going to pack the gear up. So the washing is still drying on the bike, so I'll end up strapping that to the bike later on, and I've still got to pack the tent away. And today I'm heading to France, and it should be about 100 kilometre day. I'm expecting the first third of the day to be pretty tough work, a lot of rolling hills, but then after that theoretically it should all be downhill to a city called Colmar, and I believe that there is a municipal camping site there. And that's it for now. I will give you some more clips from the road. Catch you guys in a bit. Cheers. Well, I'm trying to find my way out of Donaueschingen to Freiburg, and I'm following the route that my Garmin Touring Pro has suggested.
Thanks very much, Garmin, for leading me here. Now maybe at the end of there is somewhere to get out onto a sealed road again, or even an unsealed road, that's fine. But this comes back to the point of you can't really trust this Garmin. If there's anyone from Garmin out there responsible for the Touring Pro series, come and talk to me, let's work together and we'll try and find a way to make this a GPS that actually works for bicycle touring, rather than kind of leaves you in limbo and a little bit concerned. Anyway, whinge over, I suppose I better head across this field. Speak to you in a bit. So, after my little excursion through the field, I found that there was a load of grass and stuff caught in the derailleur. Now that is one of the reasons why I would suggest that a roll-off hub is better for bicycle touring if you can afford it. Let me pan round. So it's not a criticism of the bike, because Stanforth also do a roll-off expedition bicycle as well. So my opinion is, if you can afford it, it's probably better to get the roll-off hub. Now in some ways that does go against my principle of keeping things simple, because obviously if the roll-off hub goes wrong and you're in the middle of nowhere, you're in real trouble, because you're going to need to post it off, get it fixed and get it posted back to you. But I believe that circumstances are so rare that it's probably worth it, you know, and if you're on a multi-year bicycle tour, you're going to have time off the road at some point, and you're going to be inconvenienced by something at some point. So I also believe that if you're on a multi-year bicycle tour and you have a derailleur system, you're going to end up replacing the derailleur at some point anyway. I certainly did when I cycled from Alaska to Argentina. So yeah, so just by going through that field and getting the grass caught up in the derailleur, yeah, it made me realise again that a roll-off is a very good choice. So like I said, Stanforth also do a roll-off expedition bicycle version of the Kibo Plus as well. So maybe you want to check it out on their website, which I think is stanforthbikes.co.uk. Cheers for now. So time for the first break of the day. I've cycled a little bit longer than I normally do, and I'm stopping in one of these what I call pilgrims rest places again. If you can see the cross there and the bench. I'm not sure if they've got a name in German, but I think pilgrim rest places are a good name. And normal break, banana, some water. Let's check out the stats that I've done so far. So I have cycled 415 metres upwards of total ascent so far, and at the minute I'm at an elevation of 859 metres and 23 kilometres done. That's taken me an hour and 43, so I think I've got about another hour or 2 hours of uphill, and it should all be downhill after that, but let's see what happens. So I'm at 953 metres elevation, and that should be the highest peak of the day, and in fact that should now be the highest peak for the rest of the trip. Certainly today it's going to all go downhill in a bit, and I'm going to get down to 200 metres, and I believe that the route is going to be pretty flat then until I get to Calais and cross the channel. So I will try and get down to the nearest town, as I'm quite hungry and could do with a drink. Not alcohol of course, probably just with water, or maybe I'll treat myself to a Fanta. and that's it. So I will show you some clips of the downhill, assuming the GPS has brought me on the right track, of course, because I could do another section in a bit saying how I've had to backtrack for 20 kilometres. Know what I mean? Catch you in a bit. Well, I think it's fair to say that at this point, if the GPS is wrong, it's very wrong, and I'm going to have a nice climb up so far. There's a main road over there, and I've been trying to keep off it because it's only a single lane and it's very busy. There doesn't seem to be any clearly marked cycle lanes. My GPS is telling me to follow a trail, which is what I'm doing. It's all downhill, which is great if it ends somewhere, but if it means I've got to come back because it's wrong, I'm kind of screwed. So, wish me luck, guys. Cheers. So I think it's fair to say that today has not been the most organised or efficient day. So I've gone extra hundreds of kilometres upwards in ascent. I've deviated roundabouts off the track, all to miss the main road, which I may or may not technically have been allowed on. So the question is, what would you have done? Would you have looked for an alternative route like I've done? Or would you have just said, okay, it's an hour on the main road? As it is, I'm now at elevation 1047, which I've done 1,200 metres of total ascent, and I've only done 57 kilometres, and that's taken me 4 hours 28 of cycling time. Probably not going to make my destination of Colmar, but I at least need to get past Freiburg if I can. So I'm hoping to get onto this onto the road just to get a bit of downhill, so it feels like I've got some distance. And then I think I'll probably just dive into a guest house in a small village somewhere. Catch you guys in a bit. Hi there, so I'm done for the day, and that was a tough day's ride in the end. The tent's set up, and just got to pack some of the stuff away from the bike and put it inside. So yeah, I didn't really get as far as I wanted to. I've got to a place called Kirchzarten, which is still 12 kilometres short of Freiburg, which was at the very minimum the place I wanted to head to. The actual place I wanted to head to was Colmar in France, and I think that's still another 30 kilometres away, so I'm potentially 30 or 40 kilometres behind my schedule for tomorrow. And so tomorrow's destination is Saverne, and I'm going to have to complete it because I've booked some accommodation already. So that's potentially what, 120, 130 kilometre day, which is going to be quite tough. Still, there's no point in moaning about it. I'll just have to get on with it tomorrow. So now the tent's set up, I'll have a shower, have something to eat, get some rest, and get an early start tomorrow. So I will catch you guys later. Thanks very much for watching, and speak to you later. Cheers for now.